Hey, this is JRCox with Vanjie Berry Signature Realty. I'm going to go over all of Section 8 here for the exclusive right of sale listing agreement for Florida Realtors published in March of 2014. This is where it talks about the commission, what you are going to pay the broker for bringing a buyer who buys the property or who wants to buy the property at the price you've agreed on. So here's just where you would put the percentage amount plus a dollar amount if applicable, or just a total dollar amount, and that would be paid no later than the closing date of the contract. But the sale of the property is not necessarily required for the broker being paid. Here it talks about an option. If you were going to sell the property as a lease with an option to buy, the broker would be paid a certain amount of money here that you would agree on. And then if the lease turns into them buying the property in a year or so, you would pay the broker this amount minus this amount. Okay? All right, let's go down to Section C. This is an amount that the broker would be paid if you were to lease the property during this agreement, all right, to somebody else who doesn't buy it, but they just lease it. The broker's fee is due in the following circumstances, and you can read here what it says. It's basically any transfer of the property, regardless of how it gets transferred. If it's during this agreement, then the broker is paid. Whether you found the buyer or some other person found the buyer, you're paying the broker that you are listed with in this agreement. If the broker brings you a buyer who is ready, willing, and able, and they want to pay the price that you have agreed on in this agreement, and you fail to sign that offer, then the broker could be required to be paid. If during the termination or the protection period after the termination date, so let's say it expired on February 26th, and the protection period was 90 days. If during that next 90 days you transfer the property or you sell it to somebody who was brought to the property or was informed about the property during this agreement, then you would pay the broker who you're listed with. Now, if the listing expires or you withdraw it and then you relist it with another broker, then the broker you're currently listed with in this agreement does not get paid. Retained deposits is the last section here. This talks about if a buyer wants to buy the property and they put in earnest money of $3,000, but something falls through and they default on the transaction, then the broker will be entitled to whatever percentage you agree to here as liquidated damages. Okay, hopefully you understand better now Section 8 of this contract, and stay tuned for further instructions on it and others.